Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Way too many people are wearing these jerseys. Why is everyone wearing these jerseys?
That's how you sell product, Rudo.
Evan, Rudo, Blais on the show for you today, watching the Avs take on the Dallas Stars for the second time in a week, this time on home ice, and this time more shorthanded than ever. Evan Rodrigues going to miss 2 to 4 weeks, which could have been a lot worse.
It's like a yay, nay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's good. That it's only that short.
The way it looked, you were expecting it a lot longer than that, so could have been a lot worse. But in the immediate, Sampo Ranta getting the call back to the Avs on this one. He's going to be filling in the lineup of a team that now includes certainly 4 AHL forwards, 5 depending on how you feel about Dryden Hunt.
I probably feel like he fits in that group.
It
checks all those boxes. Let's go.
It's rough out there. They're also missing 3 top 6 forwards at this point. So a lot of people playing high up the lineup. Before we get into that, jersey thoughts.
They are blasting us with these jerseys, and I don't like it.
Me either.
It's the whole get up when they came on the ice. It did not look good to me, but teach their own. Somebody out there likes them, I'm sure.
Being generous, I think they're super boring at best.
Yeah, they're mid.
Mid AF.
For real.
It doesn't, I don't, certainly compared to last year's, like I knew that was going to be hard to live up to.
The entire broadcast?
Oh, yeah, they probably will too.
Oh, man. Wow.
Anyway, jerseys, not my favorite. We have Avery saying the socks look good, so I guess that's something.
I think you.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
They're just not very good. I don't know what to tell you.
After last year's.
As we all know, my jersey takes are exclusively correct, so.
That is false. That is so false.
I think most of these reverse retro jerseys this year are pretty bad.
All right, Evan, here's the deciding factor. The Panthers reverse retro.
I liked them when I watched them, I saw them initially, but then when I watched the game, I thought it was the Thrashers that were playing.
Okay.
So, I mean, it went down when I saw them in action.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's the best of the bunch still. I can't be convinced otherwise.
Okay.
I will say this. I think the helmets look okay.
The pants being the wrong color of blue from the jerseys.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Takes me out of the fantasy.
Fantasy? All right.
Anyway, getting into this actual game, the Stars going with their backup in Wedgwood, which, is that good or bad for the Avs? Who knows? Sometimes they struggle against backups. But the Avs are in a situation where it really is a next man up scenario. I'm not just saying the call up of Sampo Ranta, but Alex Newhook getting moved back to C tonight. You're likely to see JT Compher play somewhere in the 20-minute range. Who's got to step up and actually fill a role in this top 6 and get it done tonight?
Kaut. It has to be.
Okay.
We keep saying he's never going to get a better chance at this, and people keep getting hurt. So he really is never going to get a better chance than this. And, the time is now. They've been playing him in a top 6 role, and what does he have, 2 points this year? Yep. And they were all in one game. So they need something from those guys, and he's the guy you need to step up.
Agree, Blais?
Obviously, he needs to step up, but I think your top line's got to be your top line as well. Like when you're talking about going through all these injuries, right? Like having that top line produce is going to be the factor of how are you going to stay in this game. They've struggled with depth scoring. Now you have a bunch of AHL players down there too. It's getting mixed up, so that top line really has to gel tonight.
And I think there's some hope there. Their top line has been very, very good over this stretch for the Avs. Certainly, at least Mikko McKinnon has produced well, also just not quite scoring goals at the clip you'd like to see for sure.
Lekkonen's quietly just been picking up assists in every game.
Yep.
Is that something that's just a byproduct of playing with 2 being on the top line with those two guys.
Definitely doesn't hurt, that's for sure. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
there was a good stretch where Lecky was a little bit quiet on the points production, so it's good to see that turning in the right direction. Does this continue to be a situation for the Avs where they have to live and die by their special teams?
I mean, if it's carried them this far, I think they kind of have to because, I mean, to be honest, what can you expect from this bottom six at this point?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to live and die by it, and the top line and the defense are kind of going to have to carry the way, and the goalie, because Girard is,
true.
quite frankly, just balled out this year.
Yeah.
So it's just got to stay that way.
I mean, on the power, you're the number one power play in the league right now, so you got to keep that going. Obviously, that's the way that you're winning games. You got to keep that up.
Yep. I would like to see you get something out of this bottom six, but like Evan said, it's anything you get from them is gravy. Like, it's not something you can rely on to any stretch of the imagination. So we'll see how usage gets worked out. You know, I'm really not expecting a ton of minutes, certainly from the guys that end up on the fourth line. But Evan, we haven't had you on to ask this yet. How long can the Avs realistically do this where they're playing their top forwards 25 plus minutes a night, where they're playing Cale Makar 27 plus minutes a night? Can they just keep getting away with this, or do they need to assess that at some point?
I think they would prefer not to keep doing this. It would be nice if they had a game where it was, you know, up 4-0 in the third period, where you can just kind of cruise and chill here. But they're trying to win games. Like I think you can get by with some injuries, but the reality is they probably didn't think this was going to hit them as hard as they did, and now they're just doing what they can to stack up points until these guys get back. And it sucks. Like Makar playing 30-plus minutes multiple times this year is not ideal at all, but they're kind of doing what they have to do. And, you know, McKinnon will play as much as he is asked to play. He doesn't mind this.
Right.
Like, as much as we're like, hey, you know what, this is not great, he's probably like, man, I feel great.
So, officially, the second line is Hunt, Newhook, Kaut. Now, we're pretty well aware at this point that those lines last about 6 minutes into the hockey game, and then it gets completely blended. So, don't be surprised to see that not be actual usage. But it's where the Avs are at. They're playing Dryden Hunt on the second line, mostly because they don't want to break up the Comfer, Cogliano, O'Connor line, I assume. But then your fourth line is literally an AHL line of Bleed, Magna, and Ranta. So,
And that Newhook, that's the third line. Let's just call it what it is.
That's what it really is, for sure. Comfer's line is really the second line. So,
How much time do you think that fourth line's going to get tonight?
7 minutes.
I mean, I guess it depends on what they do in the first period.
Yeah.
They only got 7 minutes the other night because Rodrigues went out
Yeah.
as quickly as he did.
So not even 7 minutes.
I mean, doing grades, every time I look at the ice time, those guys are between 5 and 6 minutes. So I would say somewhere in there.
Just enough that you can't give him an incomplete. Is that?
Well, it's even at that point, it's like, I don't know what Magna did today.
I didn't
I did
notice
not
him
notice
once.
him at all.
Yeah.
He was out
So,
for 1:45 each period.
yeah, it's just...
That's literally 2 shifts. I think you're just rude, just brutal.
Yeah.
I see the comment about Oscar Olausen in the chat. I mean, he was pretty lost. And it's
Yeah.
fine. Like that, you didn't expect him to be exactly with it out there. But I think it'd be pretty hard to keep him up in a realistic capacity. Especially because they have guys like Ranta, which I do want to ask about. What does Ranta have to do here? Because we saw him get a few games earlier in the year and get sent back down. So what's he got to do to earn a little bit more?
I did not like Ranta at all last year, but I've actually liked him a fair bit in his time this year, where he's just been kind of keeping it simple. He's been much stronger on the puck. I still think he's pretty lost in the defensive zone, but I've liked a lot of what I've seen the offensive zone, and I guess the other 50% of the ice. So if he continues to be strong and play physical, and he keeps shooting the puck, like, that's all they really need from him if he's going to be on the fourth line. So just keep grinding, and all he has to do is just not hurt the team defensively, which unfortunately he's done a little bit in his short time here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I like his progression, but the thing that has happened in the past is he likes to take bad penalties at bad times. So hopefully he can clean that part of up. I agree with you. I think in the defensive zone he's a little bit lost. It's gotten better this year, and hopefully that's just something that he's working on. I think in the offensive zone he's been like what you're looking for. Hasn't like shown up on on the score sheet, but he's doing the right things.
All right. That's pretty positive.
Yeah. It would be nice if he worked his way up to that new hook
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Over
Like if they
Dryden
were
Hunt.
like, okay, we can't play Dryden Hunt. We're going to try a new Ranta here because that means he's doing something well.
True.
Yeah.
On the other side of this, the thing the Avs always lean on and should be leaning on even more with Sam Girard back in the lineup, it's their defense, right? Yes, they're still without Bowen Byram, who, is at least skating today by himself. So that's something.
Yep.
But for a team that you just can't expect a ton of offense out of their forward depth, let me put it to you this way. What is more important from the Avs defense? Is it their offensive contributions or is it them shutting down the other team?
It's got to be a little bit of both, but I'm going to say defense just because you can't expect this team to score so many goals right now. They just have to shut down the other team, and Dallas is a team that can score goals.
Yep.
So, if the Avs are going to stay in this game, they need to lock it down defensively, and Girard, I think, is a guy that they, last year wasn't his best year. I think the start of this year hasn't been great, even before he was hurt, and you kind of want to see the guy that you saw a couple years ago, and hopefully that comes back.
Yeah, the Stars have a lot of depth. They get depth scoring too right now, which is like what's lacking with the Avalanche. So it's going to have to be a low-scoring game, and those bottom, your bottom six are going to have to play a good game and not kill you down there. Two good goalies, though. Backup versus our starter, right?
Yep.
So, and the other thing that the Avs have going for them is they didn't have to play yesterday.
No, they didn't. They had to travel.
They did have to
Unfortunately.
travel,
But didn't play, which Dallas did. So
that was a crazy game, too.
I didn't see it.
I just saw the ending, the whole controversy thing.
Yeah.
But
How many controversies can the NHL pack into one
That
month?
one was pretty bad. Once the goalie's helmet comes off,
Yeah.
they're supposed to blow it dead.
I agree. I mean, you'll hear no argument from me on that, but we're getting a whole lot of nonsense. The 3 goals called back against New Jersey the other day,
Yep.
postponed games because of pipes bursting. NHL's a little bit all over the place right now. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. All right, Blais, make us some money on a weird betting night.
Yeah, so this is all going to be player bets here. It didn't happen last game, so I'm going to put it up there again because I did bet this last time. So hopefully this jinx him, and Pavelski does not get a goal, but I've got it up there at plus 220.
There's no way he goes 2 games against the Avs without a goal.
I mean, it's a good trend to start. Mikko, basically with 2 points at plus 100.
Yep.
And then because it
And
keeps paying
the
off.
free money from Makar.
Free money Makar, a power play.
how are those
Point.
odds not getting
Yeah, those-
significantly
they went from being positive
Yeah.
down
But
to a negative,
that
but still
should
that's
be
good money.
minus
Barely.
200.
Yeah.
Like, it feels automatic at this point right now. So there you go. You can go make some money with DraftKings Sportsbooks. Any final thoughts from you two on tonight's game?
I hope these jerseys don't bother me too. I hope the whole get up. It's more the whole
What's
get
worse,
up.
the jerseys or the boards?
I don't even notice the boards.
Same.
I don't even notice the boards,
The
most of
boards.
the time.
The boards, they bother me.
Cranky Blais over
Oh
here.
man, I'm an old guy.
I think I'm just watching the puck so much and
Yeah.
things around. I'm not
No,
even
it's
like
fine.
paying
It's
attention
fine when
to
it's
the
like
boards.
when the play's not there, but once the play gets close to the boards, you start to see some weird stuff. The movement, it's all weird.
I feel like
The only times I've noticed is when it just randomly goes white, and you're like, oh, well, Now this feels
Right,
weird.
This is weird. Where'd the ads go?
They still haven't figured it out either. Like they're still trying to figure out what the white point should be on the boards too. Like sometimes it's gray,
Nah.
sometimes it's bright white.
Half of that is the altitude can't figure out their white balance. So.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway, I think people who play video games probably are easier to tune it out than who don't.
I don't know. If we start getting a lot of money in this place, I'm going to start buying ad space and I'm going to make it all pink.
Dude,
Just Rudo in pink across the
yes.
board. See if that catches your eye.
It costs way too much, but I am down. If it said my name, I'd probably notice.
Just watching the game, you see some jorts behind the ball, behind the net.
Join us after dark.
All right. We're going to wrap up the pregame show. We do have a watch along today, so join us on the same YouTube channel for that. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that. And of course, we'll be live post game breaking it all down for you. So at very least, go look at that one. We will be back in a little bit. Until then, enjoy the game, and we'll see you.